What I'm about to say might shock you. This is going to be a bigger plot twist than The Sixth Sense. Make sure you're sitting down. I'm about to blow your damn mind. Gods Unchained, the Web3 trading card game, is pay to win. I know, it's a real shock. Whoever thought trading card games would give an advantage to people who could spend more money on cards? This is unbelievable! When I started buying cards in Gods Unchained, there was a lot of discussion on my stream with the Twitch chat about how pay to win the game is. It's definitely pay to win, okay? It's definitely pay to win. The best cards cost the most, and the game has been out for a while. So after like 3 years, a lot of the best cards are pretty well established, meaning they're already expensive, which makes it pay to win for people starting to play now, because a lot of people can't afford to spend $1,000 on cards to get their collection started. Blade of Whiteplane in particular being a great card in almost every deck, and a playset, 2 copies of that, costs almost $600 just to play in a damn video game of some trading card games. That's pay to win. That's the definition of pay to win. But one of the good things about Gods Unchained is that there is a ton of budget cards that are very strong. Frankly, there's so many cards in the damn game that no one can keep track of it all, almost no one, and there's always something in the market at a low price that's just ready to destroy the meta. It's one of the cool things about Gods Unchained. Not every pay-to-win card has a clear substitute, but there's a lot of good stuff at good prices. So, here are 5 cards at less than $1, which in my opinion are underrated and should be some of the first cards you buy in this game, regardless of how low your budget is. 1. Miraculous Familiar. There's a nature card called Celestial Stag, which sees some play. As a 3/3 that can generate random nature cards, it's very high value. And so my understanding is that whenever the meta isn't too aggressive, if there's lots of control decks, Celestial Stag starts to be really good because you can get quite a few extra cards out of it in some of your matches. Yet, this mage card, Miraculous Familiar, is seen a lot less in my experience. I'm not sure why, because it's pretty similar to the nature Celestial Stag card, but it's like the mage version. Since mage games often go long, and Miraculous Familiar can cycle into a new card on the same turn you play it for only 3 mana, it seems like a great source of value at a low mana cost and a low marketplace price. In fact, you can get the shadow version of this card for under $1. And of course, everyone knows, although there's no official difference, shadow cards are stronger in terms of the heart of the cards. 2, and this one might be controversial, but Militian Magistrate. I swear, this card will eventually be used in a super strong death deck. I swear it. I just can't find it. My latest attempt at a deck list using this card is terrible. Don't play it. I have no idea why this trended on GU decks. It's not good. I respect whoever downvoted it. It's -1 points right now. I respect that. It's a bad deck. But Magistrate has to be good. It can get so much value for 3 mana. Using this thing on a Pyramid Warden means you're basically getting 5 attack and 9 health in value for 3 mana. The right player with the right deck can make this card work. I want to believe. So buy it, build a good deck with it, and then I'm going to copy your deck. Please do that. I would like to find the deck and I can't figure it out. Build something with Militian Magistrate. Show me how it's done. Please. 3. Dangerous Ritual. Okay, I'm bullshitting you a little bit because this card is more than $1. It's $1.20. I'm sorry. But anybody who plays aggro regularly knows how painful it is when your opponent is down 5 health or less and you just can't finish them. And then they end up, of course, playing Ceres, and they're back up to 10 health, and they've stabilized, and you lose, and you go fucking 5-13 in weekend ranked, and you cry, and you sell your cards. We don't want to go down that path. That's why I think this card is interesting and kind of underrated. A 2-mana card that cycles, it lets you draw a new card, and it does 4 damage directly to your opponent's face. It just seems so strong. Sure, you're damaging yourself, but as aggro, especially against control, that's usually not an issue. The issue is, can they stabilize, or can you kill them first? This card, although it doesn't get played much, feels like it fits into any death aggro. It definitely fits into a Nubians, the controversial death aggro that is most common. But maybe even into zombies, I don't know. Brimstone is more common. You see Brimstone, which is a 1 mana equivalent to this card, but why not Dangerous Ritual? 4 damage to the face. That's, with both of them, 8 damage to face just for playing 2 cards, and you're drawing more. I think Dangerous Ritual is underrated, and at $1.20, I decided to include it in this list, even though, again, I know it's a little bit above $1. Video actually ruined. Speaking of ruining the video, please like and subscribe. Thank you. 4. Unexpected Gift. One of the newest cards in the game. Everybody who played the Winter Wonderlands event already got one of these, so if that's you, you only need to buy 1 more. You're already halfway there. I mean, how good is that? As a result of everyone getting one, maybe that's part of why it's under $1. I don't know. I think this card could be quite good, although it hasn't seen much play yet. Healing for 3 off of only 1 mana, and getting a body on the board, getting the 2/2 on the board as well. I mean, for 1 mana, that's like really good value. And against aggro, the biggest thing for control is, can they get you down to 0, or do you stabilize just a little bit above and then you heal your way back up and then you get stuff on the board? Like, that extra 3 feels like it can make a big difference. It can buy time to top deck Ceres. It can buy time to get frontline or other heals, to get a Rune of Life from the Sanctum. There's a lot of ways it can work to your advantage. This card, although not very common in the meta yet, I think has potential to be useful as a defense tech against hyper aggro decks, to get a little more time to stabilize and get that 2/2 body. I think Unexpected Gift has a chance to be a strong card in the future once people figure it out, when the meta is right. And for under $1, especially because you might already have one if you participated in the event, I think it's a fantastic card to pick up, have a play set. You never know if you might end up needing it. Number 5, Lethal Prowler. This card got me to Mythic for the first time as part of a silly Moonlight Charm mid-range nature deck before I even started to buy the crazy stuff like Blade of Whiteplane, which I picked up soon after actually building that deck and hitting Mythic. The ability to play this card and immediately hit the opponent for 5 in the face, as long as you have something else on the board, it's insane aggro. It's almost 5/5 God Blitz. The catch being you need something else on the board to sort of get Lethal Prowler to actually attack, because it can't attack on its own. Your opponent can think they're safe. They've got a board clear. They're about to, Rapture Dance, Apocalypse Now, Demogorgon, blah, 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 blah. And instead, you drop that Lethal Prowler and you finish them. That extra 5 damage is a lot when you're talking about hitting your opponent's god on the same turn you play it. Very strong card. And although it does see play, it's certainly not like, super underrated. I think it's not played as much as it could be, given that not only is it good for hitting the god in the face, it's also great for clearing big front lines like Guild Enforcer, Stormstress, Pyramid Warden, or even stuff like Helmna and like 7 mana bomb type cards. Trust me, if you're a budget aggro player, 1 Lethal Prowler in most of your decks probably fits and increases your win rate. As soon as you start playing it, I think you'll realize just how strong that card can be. So if you're new to the game, by the way, and you don't have these cards, drop your Gods Unchained Immutable X wallet address in the comments. I will send out a playset of all 5 of these cards to 1 person who comments with their wallet in the first day or 2 after this video drops. I will leave a comment and I will respond and tell that person they won. You guys can see it. Do me a favor, don't do this if you already have a bunch of cards. Ideally, this will go to someone who's newer, who doesn't have these cards yet. So drop your address in the description. I'll give at least 1 set of cards, all 5 of those, to someone in the comments. And thanks a lot. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.